Hello, my name is David Steinberg. I'm a professor of law at the Thomas Jefferson School of Law. Maybe you've started law school recently. Law school is a new experience, it's a different experience, and you need a playbook. No problem. We have your law school playbook here today. Let's talk about some ideas to help you get started in law school. First of all, I want to emphasize how important it is to be there for class, attend class, and be alert. You're saying, you're a professor, of course you're going to say that. But not only am I a professor, I'm also a former law student, and I can tell you as a former law student, it's good advice. You are going to need to study from your class notes. You can't study from the law textbooks. On your final exams, you are going to need to analyze fact patterns stating the legal rules and legal standards. Where are you going to find those legal rules? You won't find them in the case books. Those books are often over 1,000 pages, but they don't have the legal rules. Where you're going to get those legal rules is from your class notes. One thing I've found over the years that good students have in common, all of them, they take very good class notes. So you need to be there and be alert. Don't pull the all-nighter. That's one great law school myth. You should stay up late studying. You're going to be snoozing in class, and you're not going to be able to take the kind of notes you need. Be there, be alert, sit in the front row, get to class early, and be ready to go. Another suggestion, buy a calendar. You're a professional time now. Your time is valuable, and you need to budget that time. Well, all right, if you're penciling in your friends for a beer on Friday night, you've gone overboard. But certainly on school days, you need to budget your time. Now, how should you be spending that time? One of the most valuable, if not the most valuable things you can do with your time is at the end of each school day, budget some hours for reviewing your class notes. Law school goes fast, it covers a lot of material, and I'll tell you, 3 weeks down the road, if there's something muddy or murky or unclear in your notes, you're not going to even remember what that class is about. After each class, go through the notes, clean up your notes, and if there's something you're confused about, get it straightened out now. This will pay such big dividends for you on your final exams. You gotta do it. Now, having bought your calendar, the next thing I want you to do is go online, pull up a law school exam or two, and look at it. Understand what you're doing now. You're not taking the law exam. You're not ready for that. It's like trying to take a French exam before you've had a French lesson. You're not going to understand French, and you can't take a law exam yet either. What I want you to do is I want you to look at the format of a law school exam. A law school exam tends to be a fact pattern or story, and your job as someone taking the exam is to spot each legal issue, state the applicable rule, apply the problem facts, and reach a conclusion about how a court will rule on this issue. Note that that's very different from what you're doing in class. In class, you tend to analyze cases, talk about the holding, talk about how the court would rule in a slightly different situation. That's not what you're doing on a law exam. So you need to look at a law exam and a model answer to get a sense of the exam format and to get a sense of what a good exam answer looks like. Next, join a study group. One thing students who have a lot of trouble starting out in law school tend to do is they tend to work alone. Students sometimes feel they'll get more done, they'll be more efficient working alone, but if you're not working in the right way, if you're off track, all that time you spend studying, you're in fact wasting time. I know this from my own painful experience. I worked by myself my first semester in law school. I worked hard. I didn't know what I was doing, and my grade showed it. The next semester, I joined a study group with 4 other very smart students. Well, they were very smart students. I'm not sure if I was, but one thing they were able to tell me right away is, Steinberg, you don't know what you're doing. They were right. I changed my approach and my grades improved a lot. And I can thank a lot of that. I can thank my study group for a lot of that. You need to be in a study group too. 4 to 6 students is about right. Above 6, it becomes unmanageable. You guys can pool your information. It will help you. Please do it. One other thing I wanted to talk to you about today is how you're going to define your success in law school, and that's important. Um, do you feel that you have to be in the top 1% of your class? Well, if your class is over 100 students, you have or first in your class, if your class is over 100 students, you have less than a 1% chance of being first in your class. Let's say you define it at the top 10% of your class. Your odds are 1 in 10. Those are terrible odds. You can get better odds in Las Vegas. What's a reasonable way to define law school success? First of all, graduate. That's what you're here to do. You're not here to be in the top 10%. You're here to graduate and become a lawyer. Pass the bar. There's an enormous correlation between bar passage and law school performance. The better you do in law school, the better your chances of passing the bar the first time. And finally, find a career that makes you happy, where you can work hard and be happy in that career. That's your playbook for starting off in law school. I hope you found some of these suggestions valuable, and I hope we get to spend some more time together in the future. Thank you very much for joining me. Good luck and best of success in law school and everything you do. Thanks again.